Hello Internet, and welcome back to my reviews of the X-Men movies leading up to Deadpool and Wolverine. Last time we covered X-Men The Last Stand, and now we have made it up to what is quite possibly one of the weakest comic book movies in the history of comic book movies, X-Men Origins Wolverine. Hold it right there, Wolf Boy! Deadpool, what the hell are you doing here? What does it look like to you? I'm trying to stop you from reviewing this movie! Why? I made an agreement to review every single X-Men movie before your newest movie with Wolverine. But you had to include one of the worst renditions of yours truly ever to be put on any form of media, be it comics, animated series, video games, or even movies. Like seriously! What the fuck were they thinking when they made X-Men Origins Wolverine? Sewing my fucking mouth shut, turning me into Baraka from Mortal Kombat, and giving me Homelander's laser vision! Deadpool, this movie came out 10 years before The Boys premiered on Prime Video. But The Boys started off as a comic book series in 2006, and Invincible started back in 2003, so clearly, I inherited laser vision not from James fucking Marsden, mind you, but Homelander. So your argument is invalid. Now can I please get back to reviewing this movie? Okay, keep your bathrobe on, will ya? And if you ever need a drink while reviewing this bad movie, give me a whistle. You know how to whistle, don't you, David? You just put your lips together and blow. Yes, Deadpool, I know how to whistle. And can somebody shut off this Kingdom Hearts music in the background? No can do. I put background music in my film reviews to show that I am a gamer, well versed in video game music. And I don't like it when there's silence in the background because it would make the review 100 times more boring. Now, if you please, I have a review to put together. Alright, take it away, David. Anyway, released on May 1st, 2009, and directed by Gavin Hood, X-Men Origins Wolverine is a spin-off and prequel to the original X-Men trilogy. It is an origin story for Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, how he was part of the Weapon X program, how his skeleton was infused with adamantium, and how he went from having bone claws to adamantium claws. Starring alongside Hugh Jackman is Liev Schreiber as Victor Creed, or Sabretooth, Danny Huston as William Stryker, Will.i.am as John Wraith, or Kestrel, Will.i.am, as in the sumbitch from the Black Eyed Peas, and who voiced Moto in Madagascar Escape to Africa. Yes, Deadpool, the same one. Then we have Kayla Silverfox, who's Wolverine's first love interest who doesn't have a huge role to play in this movie. And then there's Kevin Durand as Fred Dukes, or the Blob. Mary from The Lord of the Rings as Bradley, a mutant who manipulates electricity. Daniel Henney as Agent Zero. Daniel Henney also did the voice of Tadashi from Big Hero 6. And Taylor Kitsch as Gambit, a character done justice by the X-Men cartoon in X-Men 97, and done dirty in this movie. And finally we have Ryan Reynolds as me, or a variant of me who should have been pruned by the fucking TVA. And the worst part is that this was 2 years before we got the shitfest known as Green Lantern. No, please don't make me review Green Lantern. That's one movie I will never review on this channel. Also, the video game tie-in for this movie is actually really good. Well, the uncaged edition on PS3, Xbox 360, and PC with the M rating. Not the garbage versions on PS2, Wii, DS, and PSP. I feel like that's a game that Sonic and Sonic should review on this channel. Oh, really now? Yeah, I mean on your old channel, they reviewed Deadpool the video game, as well as Deadpool and Deadpool 2. You are gonna review Deadpool and Deadpool 2 again, aren't you? Yes, Deadpool, yes I am. Good, and I take it Sonic and Sonic are not gonna re-review the Deadpool video game on this channel? No, but thank you for the idea of having them review X-Men Origins Wolverine the video game. But first, they have to get through Shadow the Hedgehog. Oh yes, Keanu Reeves as Shadow in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I can't fucking wait! Neither can I. But anyway, I take it that their review of X-Men Origins Wolverine the video game will be to get ready for Insomniac's upcoming Wolverine game for PS5. How did you know? You, my fine merc with a mouth, are predictable. Now we really need to get moving here. This is your film review. I'm just a cameo, but you go ahead and take it away. So yeah, this movie's special effects were horrible. Worse than most modern MCU films. The script was bad, and so is the editing, and its overall story. I even heard from a certain Yami Madik that this film is so butt-numbingly awful that it makes crucifixion look like an appealing pastime. But I really don't want to copy off of Lil Creevo's review of this film, because this is my own review and not anybody else's. So with that said, this video will contain spoilers to X-Men Origins Wolverine. So if you've not seen X-Men Origins Wolverine, good! But if you have seen X-Men Origins Wolverine, I feel your pain. Anyway, here's my thoughts on X-Men Origins Wolverine. The movie starts off in the year 1845, which goes to show that Wolverine is older than any other mutant out there, and is literally over 100 years old. But anyway, Before he was known as Logan, he was known as James Howlett. Victor Creed is his half-brother. It appears he got the name Logan from groundskeeper Thomas Logan, who is his biological father, who he kills when his claws come out for the very first time. Wolverine's claws first came out due to stress and anxiety, and that tends to be a thing with mutants. Victor has sharp claw nails and has a healing factor, just like his half-brother. And together, they run away through the film's opening credits, and they fought in every war in history, from the American Civil War, both World Wars, and the Vietnam War. But unfortunately, Wolverine and Sabretooth don't have a run-in with Captain America because Captain America comes from a much different universe. And they don't have a run-in with Wonder Woman either, because Wonder Woman is DC, while Wolverine is Marvel. And there will never, in a million years, be a crossover between Marvel and DC. And when I see some of these sequences on screen, I think of other war films like All Quiet on the Western Front, Saving Private Ryan, Rambo First Blood, and even Apocalypse Now. And apparently, Victor has rage issues, just like a certain Bruce Banner, but without turning into a huge green monster. In Vietnam, Victor kills a superior officer after his ferocity gets out of control. And so, Victor and Logan are sentenced to death by a firing squad, but with their healing factors, they survive. Just like the time I saw my hand off when trying to escape from Colossus, and it slowly grew back, and when I was literally ripped in half by the Juggernaut, bitch! And my legs slowly grew back too. Not exactly Deadpool, but they can both survive a bullet to the head. But he can't survive being impaled by a tree at the end of Logan.
Shut it, Bob.
Oh, would you look at that? A cameo appears from David's friend Connor. I hear he does a great Cal Dodd impression.
That's right. Not so much Hugh Jackman. But don't you dare bring up my death and Logan.
Hey, everybody, look at me. I'm Wolverine. At the end of my R-rated movie, I got impaled by Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy, and I died in Daphne Keene's arms. Plus, my death was teased in 2013's The Wolverine!
I see you on your back. There's blood everywhere. You're holding your own heart in your hand.
I said shut it, Wade.
It's true! You died after being impaled by a fucking tree!
By the time the sumbitch in the blue bathrobe makes it up to Logan, you're gonna get it.
Thanks for that, Wolverine. Anyway, continue. So Logan and Victor are alive and well after being seemingly executed by a firing squad. They are approached by William Stryker, played by Danny Houston, and asked to join a special team of mutants for a top secret mission. The team is known as Team X. This was way before Logan joined the X-Men. I'm pretty sure Team X and Weapon X were not named after Charles Xavier. And these movies have a thing with the letter X, or Roman numeral 10, but that's beyond me. This team consists of Agent Zero, John Wraith, Fred Dukes, Chris Bradley, and Wade Wilson. In this movie, Wade isn't as funny as he is in the Deadpool movies, but he does have quips every now and then, and no fourth wall breaks, but he's a mercenary wielding katanas. Our first mission takes us to Lagos, where the opening scene of Captain America Civil War would eventually take place. During this mission, we invade the headquarters of a diamond trafficking operation where we search for a meteorite, and then we interrogate them, and our brutal methods lead a certain Canuck to abandon our team!
That's because of your lack of self-control and empathy turned me away.
Says the one who got an R-rated movie leaving people in puddles of blood.
I'm gonna say to you what I told James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender in X-Men First Class in my 30-second cameo. Go fuck yourself.
Okay, boys, simmer down. Aye-yowie! 6 years after abandoning Team X, Logan lives with his girlfriend Kayla Silverfox, and he works as a lumberjack in Canada. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I sleep all night and I work all day. He's a lumberjack and he's okay. He sleeps all night and he works all day. I cut down trees, I eat my lunch, I go to the lavatory. On Wednesdays I go shopping and have buttered scones for tea.
That was only one time I worked as a lumberjack, Wade. One fucking time. So don't you go singing Monty Python songs about me.
Oh, I forgot. Hugh Jackman is Australian, not British. Would you prefer I sing a song from the Wiggles instead?
Oh, you're really pushing it now, Bob.
Anyway, Logan is living a quiet life in Canada, where Silverfox teaches him about a spirit known as the Wolverine, coming from a Native American legend. Silverfox is a pawn of Stryker, tasked to keep an eye on him. Her mutant power is hypnosis, which allows her to control or convince others to do the things she wants them to do by physical touch. Think David Tennant's character from Jessica Jones, but with physical touch rather than verbal manipulation. Meanwhile, Victor murders Mariadoc Brandybuck. That's not the name of the character in this movie. It's just what the actor is best known for. Stryker then finds Logan in Canada, where he explains that the former members of the team are being murdered, but Logan doesn't give any fucks whatsoever. But then, he finds Silver Fox dead in the woods, and he knows that Victor is responsible. So then Logan hunts down Victor and they have a fight outside a bar, and Logan loses. Then Stryker explains to Logan that Victor has gone rogue. I'm pretty sure Victor is known as Sabretooth, not Rogue. Rogue is a much different character and everyone knows it. That's not what I mean by rogue, Deadpool. Whatever you say, sugar. Stryker offers a way for Logan to get revenge. That's through a painful procedure that reinforces his skeleton with adamantium. Asked how Stryker got his hands on it, he got it from the meteorite that he saw at the very beginning of the movie. But before the procedure, he asked for his dog tag to say Wolverine, named after the story that was told to him by Silver Fox. And after the procedure is complete, Stryker is ordered to have Logan's memory wiped, but Logan overhears it and he goes on a murderous rampage. So he books it out of there while clawing out the letter X on a wall with his new metal claws, and he books it to a nearby farm. There, we get a taste of how piss poor the special effects in this movie are. The farm is owned by an elderly couple and they take Logan in. They give him food and clothing, and their son's old motorcycle. But unfortunately, the elderly couple are killed by Agent Zero, and we have what is possibly the best scene in the movie, and that's not saying a whole lot. But we got some pretty cool action sequences involving Wolverine going up against a helicopter. And we get the scene where he walks away from an exploding helicopter, and he vows to kill Stryker and Victor. I've got a particular set of skills. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Are you serious, Wade? A reference to that Liam Neeson movie, Taken?
I did reference those movies in the first Deadpool movie, plus it's owned by 20th Century Fox.
It's called 20th Century Studios now, bub.
Yes, I know. You can blame Disney for that. Wolverine then finds Will.i.am and a morbidly obese Fred Dukes, who developed a guilt-induced eating disorder at the time, and he does boxing as a way to lose weight. And Fred thought Wolverine was calling him Blob, when he actually called him Bub. That's what he was known as in the comics. This same character made a cameo appearance in X-Men Apocalypse. Wolverine wants to know where Stryker's new laboratory is, and he asks Fred for answers while going up against him in a boxing match. There, he learns that Victor still works for Stryker, hunting down mutants to experiment on at his new laboratory on 3 Mile Island. And we get to see a young Scott Summers, played by Tim Pocock. I have no fucking clue why they included a young Cyclops in this movie, when he served absolutely zero purpose to the overall story, other than for the sake of a short cameo. We learn that Remy LeBeau, or as he's best known, Gambit, escaped from the island and is the only one to know about its location. They find Gambit in New Orleans at a bar where he's seen playing poker. And let me just say right off the bat that Gambit was done dirty in this movie, as he plays a very small role, unlike in the original X-Men animated series, as well as X-Men 97. The only purpose Gambit serves in this movie is to tell Logan how to get from point A to point B, and to guide him to Stryker's base. He's not even a prominent member of the X-Men, and he only appears in one fucking movie. Wanna know who else was done dirty in this movie? I'll give you a hint. He's wearing a red suit so that bad guys don't see him bleed. He's voiced by Nolan North in his own video game, and he's played by Ryan Reynolds in his own movie. He loves chimichangas, and he's returning to the big screen with Hugh fucking Jackman. Yes, Deadpool, we get it. You were also done dirty in this movie. It's a good thing I shot the fake Deadpool in the head at the very end of Deadpool 2.
Hate to break it to you, bub, but that fake Deadpool you were referring to can heal just like me and the real Deadpool.
So you're telling me that the fake Deadpool I shot in the head at the end of Deadpool 2 survived?
Most likely.
What you've just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that can be considered a rational thought. Everyone in the comment section of this video is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Really? A Billy Madison quote?
Well, it's certainly better than going on an expletive-filled rampage, but I'm pretty sure I shot him in the head with an adamantium bullet. And if you're shot at point-blank range with an adamantium bullet, good luck trying to heal from that. In the case of Ryan Reynolds finishing reading the Green Lantern screenplay, I shot him with a normal bullet, and I shot him dead.
You do realize that by killing Ryan Reynolds, you would also be erased out of existence, and so would the movie Free Guy, Detective Pikachu, The Croods, Turbo, a Netflix movie where you team up with Black Adam and Wonder Woman, another Netflix movie where Percy Jackson plays a younger version of you, an Apple TV Christmas musical with Will Ferrell, and an upcoming children's movie about imaginary friends.
Oh, you mean the one where Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell sang that song that went viral on TikTok? You know, Grace Kelly? I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like.
If you're gonna ask me to sing, it ain't happening.
Whatever you say, Jean Valjean. Or should I say, P.T. Barnum. You know, Cal Dodd can actually sing.
But that doesn't mean I want to. Even if you put me in a space shuttle and send my ass to that planet from the Marvels where the language of the people is through song.
Let it go, and I'll rise like the break of dawn. Let it go, Wolverine's sense of humor is gone.
Okay, bub. You're asking for it.
You guys are worse than Shadow and Silver. Bitch, please. You guys are nowhere near as bad as Silver. Fuck off, Shadow! Continue, please, oh mighty wolf boy in a Sonic the Hedgehog bathrobe. As I was saying, Gambit was done dirty in this movie, and he didn't even appear in any other X-Men movies after this. So Wolverine and Will.i.am go up to Gambit and ask for information, but Gambit suspects that Wolverine wants to bring him back to the island, so they fight. But then, we see that Will.i.am is killed by Victor, and his DNA is extracted. And after agreeing to help him rescue the captured mutants being experimented on by Stryker, Gambit takes Wolverine to 3 Mile Island. When Wolverine arrives to kill Stryker, we see that Silver Fox is alive and is Stryker's personal puppet in exchange for her sister's safety. Stryker then denies giving Victor the same procedure that Wolverine endured, as he wouldn't have been able to survive the operation. Wolverine spares Victor after another fight and instead just knocks him out. He then goes in to rescue the captured mutants, and on their way out, they run into what is possibly the ugliest thing put onto the silver screen, the fake Deadpool. Seriously! This is like if the scary toys from Toy Story had a gem fusion with the original design of Sonic, as shown in the very first trailer for the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Paramount fixed the design of Sonic, but Fox had to wait 7 years to do me justice? This version of Deadpool has Homelander's laser vision, swords coming out of his arms like Baraka from Mortal Kombat, the ability to teleport taken from Will.i.am, and healing abilities like Wolverine and Victor. But they sewed his fucking mouth shut, made him look like a Ken doll that was thrown into a campfire by a little boy who was clearly too young to be playing with Barbie and Ken dolls. Not to mention that horrifying look for Sonic in the very first Sonic the Hedgehog movie trailer. Whoever thought it would be a good idea to include that variant of me in a movie all about Wolverine deserves a katana up their ass. Or just be pruned by the TVA, since those are the sumbitches I have a run-in with in Deadpool and Wolverine.
We get it, Wayne. You're excited for a new Deadpool movie with Hugh Jackman.
I just hope Disney knows what they're doing, because after an entire 2023 filled with flops, they can't afford to let Deadpool and Wolverine flop at the box office. Can I please finish here? Sorry, Road Boy. That's Wolf Boy to you, thank you very much. Well, it seems to be a regular thing. You wearing a bathrobe in almost every video, let alone a Sonic the Hedgehog bathrobe. Hey Deadpool, do you have an alcoholic beverage I can borrow? I told you to give me a whistle if you wanted an alcoholic beverage. Alright. Alright, enjoy one nice bottle of aviation gin. Thanks, Deadpool. Bottoms up. I definitely needed it.
Table manners, bub.
Better out than in, I always say.
Seriously?
Just be careful not to drink too much of that aviation gin, David. The last thing you want is to be throwing up and getting it all over your bathrobe. Thanks for that, Deadpool. So anyway, Silver Fox is mortally wounded, and the other mutants make it out of there in one piece. And they run into a poorly CGI Patrick Stewart, who offers them a home at his school. And then, the fight between Wolverine and the fake Deadpool takes them to the top of a nuclear power plant's cooling tower in what is practically a Mortal Kombat stage. But as the fake Deadpool is close to killing Wolverine, in comes Player 2. Victor joins Wolverine in fighting off the fake Deadpool. So the two of them decapitate the fake Deadpool, but in the film's post-credit sequence, we see that he actually survived. Until I travel back in time at the end of Deadpool 2 to kill the fake Deadpool. Yes, Deadpool, I will talk about that more when it comes time for me to review Deadpool 2 on this channel. But I still need to get through X-Men First Class, The Wolverine, X-Men Days of Future Past, Deadpool, X-Men Apocalypse, and Logan before I'm ready to talk about Deadpool 2. Don't tell me you plan on reviewing Dark Phoenix and the New Mutants. Well, yeah, I promised the subscribers that I would review every single X-Men movie in existence, including Dark Phoenix and the New Mutants. Oh, believe me, you're going to need a bunch of drinks to get through those movies. I'll make a note of that. But anyway, the fake Deadpool is defeated, and Stryker shoots Wolverine in the head with an adamantium bullet that renders him unconscious and gives him a serious case of amnesia, as seen in the first two X-Men movies. But before Silver Fox dies, she uses her power of persuasion to force Stryker to walk away until his feet bleed. But then, Wolverine wakes up and doesn't remember a fucking thing when Gambit goes up to him. And then we get end credit scenes, fresh off of the releases of Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk. The first is Stryker being detained by police for murdering a general for protecting his experiment. The second one sees the fake Deadpool alive and well due to the fact that he regenerated. And that's the last we see of the fake Deadpool. Good fucking riddance!
What about the time you went back in time to kill him in Deadpool 2?
Well, yes, and if I could, I would also go back in time to 2019 to kill the fake Sonic, but Paramount won't allow it. So anyway, you were gonna give your final thoughts? Thank you. I'm giving X-Men Origins Wolverine a 4 out of 10. This is definitely one of the weakest comic book movies out there. The CGI was horrible, the script was shoddy, and the pacing was all over the place. And don't get me started on the fake Deadpool that was featured in this movie. But that's not the last we see of Ryan Reynolds as Wade Wilson, as he would return in the 2016 film Deadpool. That version of Deadpool is the definitive version of the character, with the proper red suit, the fourth wall breaks, the humor, and the fact that his fucking mouth wasn't sewn shut. But more on that when it comes time for me to talk about the first Deadpool movie. The only good thing about this movie was Hugh Jackman's performance as Wolverine. There were going to be more X-Men Origin films following X-Men Origins Wolverine, including one based around Magneto, but sadly, that never saw the light of day. Instead, Magneto's origin weaved its way into the film I'm going to talk about next, X-Men First Class. And there will be two more Wolverine-centered films to come, and they are The Wolverine and Logan. The Wolverine is a standalone sequel to X-Men The Last Stand, and because of X-Men Days of Future Past, not only were the events of The Last Stand erased from existence, but so is X-Men Origins Wolverine. And like Deadpool here suggested, I plan on having Sonic and Sonic do a review of X-Men Origins Wolverine the video game, because I heard the video game version is so much better than the movie it was based on, and luckily for me, I own the game on Xbox 360, and not PS2, or Wii, or DS. But seriously, this movie is bad. Like, really bad. So bad that the X-Men Origins series was scrapped in favor of X-Men First Class. Gambit was done dirty, and so was Deadpool. And I'm glad they got Deadpool right with the 2016 film, and Deadpool 2. Even Hugh Jackman himself wasn't happy with how this movie turned out. I don't blame you, Hugh. This is a movie I often skip with each new X-Men release, and for a good reason. The piss-poor CGI, the piss-poor script, and the piss-poor decision to sew Deadpool's mouth shut. Need some more aviation gin? I'm already finished with it. That fast? Apparently so. How are you not drunk? I have no idea. There it is, and remember, I don't want you throwing up. Could you give me one moment, please?
What's happening to him?
I think he drank too much of that aviation gin I gave him.
Oh dear. That ain't good.
It'll pass, don't worry, Wolvie. Oh, God. I think I had too much aviation gin. But yeah, stay tuned for my upcoming review of X-Men First Class coming soon. By then, I should be sober, and hopefully not hungover. Until then, I'll see you all next time. Oh, God! And this is your friendly neighborhood Deadpool signing off.
And Wolverine. Until next time, Bubs.
Can somebody give me some Pepto-Bismol? Okay, cut the video!